Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today, I'm going to be doing the review of the English dub of the 3 special premiere episodes of Dragon Ball Daima from the movie theater. So, I just got back to see it. I seen the 3 episodes, a very, very good presentation. I mean, there wasn't really that much there. It was 3 episodes. They just basically played 3 episodes in the movie theater. There wasn't really that much else other than that to expect anything different. But I did get to see it. It was basically, like I said, 3 episodes combined into, I guess, 1, essentially, for the movies. Very, very cool. And, yeah. So, the first episode of Dragon Ball Daima kicks off again. This takes place shortly after the Majin Buu saga, after, Buu has been killed by the Hope of the Universe, Goku. And they are, like, celebrating at, like, Kid Trunks' birthday. They mention that he has turned 9 and whatnot. At the festivities, Goku and Vegeta end up doing some sparring. In the meantime, while that was going on, you had Degesu and Gomah, who are basically the villains of this story, in the demon realm. And they mention Deborah. They show, like, the magic of, watching what happened in the Buu saga. Basically everything that happened. They show how Deborah got eaten, which means that Gomah is basically the new king of the demon realm. And this guy, Degesu, is basically, I guess, supposed to be the brother of the Supreme Kai, which is kind of interesting, but it doesn't really surprise me because they obviously look like each other. I even said it in the trailer. I thought this guy looks really similar to the Supreme Kai. Well, we know why now. He's the brother of the Supreme Kai. But yeah, most of this episode basically was covering a lot of the flashbacks of Majin Buu, the Majin Buu arc. Because they were watching everything, basically. We did see stuff, again, Vegeta and Goku were sparring. And it was a little kind of fun, a sensual episode to kind of get everyone back to speed, even though everyone knows what happened in the Buu saga. I mean, a lot of people should. I mean, I know the Dragon Ball Z Kai version was shit, but most people have seen the Dragon Ball Z version of the Majin Buu arc. But in its entirety. So yeah, I mean, good art. But again, a lot of people are wondering where Gohan and Videl is in this, because we do know Hercule's in this. So I don't know what goes on with that. So basically, once they see this whole thing, Gomah basically wants to get the Earth Dragon Balls, and he wants to basically get rid of the people that defeated Majin Buu, but he knows he can't do it because he can't use the Demon Realm Dragon Balls because you got, like, guards over there that are protecting it, right? So because of this, he needs to use the Earth Dragon Balls, but because the Earth Dragon Balls are, like, they don't like evil people, right? That they won't use they won't take the wish, I guess. Even though they had like villains that like wished back Frieza. I never knew there was a morale when it came to the Earth Dragon Balls now. But apparently there is. So they devise a plan to basically say, okay, let's wish them back as kid. Well, let's turn them into kids again, because if they turn them into kids, then they won't be as strong. That's their logic. I guess that's completely ignoring GT, but then again, GT isn't canon to begin with, so yeah, I know, it's not canon, but we have to bring it up. Because I'm like, oh well, power levels didn't just get retraked just because you went back to being a kid, right? Apparently, in this it's different. But anyways, so they decide to go to Earth. They have to go through this big thing that looks like a goldfish mouth or whatever. And they go through it. And, and I should also mention there was a sister, Dr. Arashan. She also was overhearing the wishing as well, or what they wanted to do, and she agreed with them and stuff like that. But it seemed like she was kind of wanting her own interest in all this because, I mean, she wants funding or something that she used to get from Deborah for her research and stuff like that. So there was that as well. They had a smelly Namekian that came with them, I guess, who was supposed to be the guardian of the Demon Realm Dragon Balls. Yeah. So, that's kind of how the episode ends. That's how the first episode ends. There's the little credits at the end there. Kind of pointless since they show them at the end as well. They don't show any other credits after episode 2, but they do show credits at the end of episode 3, which is why I didn't understand why they showed credits here at episode 1. But nonetheless, they did do that. But yeah. So, moving on to episode 2, which now this is the episode where it basically starts to kick it off into high gear with the characters. So, we have, alright, so then we had Degesu and Gomah, who basically decided that now they're going to go in to Earth, which they used the coordinates to get there. Universe 7 and then to planet Earth. They get there, they go to Dende's lookout. They basically bully Dende around and basically take his Dragon Balls. Or they bring the Dragon Balls there because their whole logic is that, well, the Dragon Balls are easy to get. Anybody can get them. So I guess because of them saying this, I guess this is supposed to what leads to why Bulma, like, basically secures the Dragon Balls herself. Later on, I guess, in the movies. I guess that was supposed to be the logic here. Anyways. So then we have them basically bullying Mr. Popo and Dende. They get the Dragon Balls, and they're basically stones, like the Namekian smelly guy just basically gets them himself. And then he basically uses his powers to basically speed up the time of the Dragon Balls because they've been used recently. Obviously they were used since this was supposed to be, I think, like a few weeks. Like, to my understanding, this is supposed to be a few weeks after the events of the Buu Saga itself. So, because of that, it kind of makes sense. that the Dragon Balls would be stone at this point because they used the Dragon Balls recently for the Buu Saga. Excuse me. So the Guardian of the Demon Realm basically just like used his ability to basically reset the Dragon Balls so they can grant a wish. Basically. So because of this, they were able to summon right away, and they were like, "Come forth, Shenron." They had already known it. Dende wasn't going to give it to him, but he said, well, "Don't worry, we already know it." And so they summoned the Dragon Balls, and basically they say that they want everybody who defeated Majin Buu or who was involved in defeating Majin Buu to basically all turn into children. Shenron's basically like, that's too vague. It's too broad. You need to be specific. And so he then tells them all the people that are adults in first grade. And then Shenron is like, what about the people that are already kids? Make them babies. So this is the explanation to why all the adults turned into kids and why Trunks and Gotenks turned into babies. I'd really argue that the whole first grade thing was pretty kind of dumb because, like, if they were like in first grade, that would mean like when they'd be like, how would they depict that? Because first grade, wouldn't that mean they were like would have been 6 or 7? I mean, I'm thinking of course, U.S. like logic here, so maybe in Japan it's a little different. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of pretty dumb. That was kind of a pretty dumb logic. And why would the Demon Realm people like know about grade levels and stuff like that too? Like why would a Demon Realm people know what school grades people would be at? You know what I'm saying? Like that to me was kind of like a dumb answer. Like why not just give a specific age? Make them 8 again or something like that. I mean, like they said with the about the kids, turning them into babies. This to me was, I don't know. I didn't like this. I didn't like this dialogue. And I'm assuming this is what it was in the Japanese. So, I didn't like this specific dialogue. I wish they would have just done a specific age here. It would have made more sense, I think. But after this, they basically then push Mr. Popo around, and then like they basically kidnap Dende to the other world. And also, I should mention that they also mentioned that Dende, was a descendant of the demon world because he had the pointy ears. So I thought that was kind of an interesting detail because that was not something that was ever kind of revealed before, specifically like, oh, where did the Mechians come from? Well, they actually came from the demon realm. But it was many centuries before that. So I thought that was kind of an interesting little tidbit there. I don't know if all the Namekians are from there because I don't know, like, are they all the ears pointy? Now we have to, like, go look back and see, like, are all the Namekians' ears, like, pointy? Now, like, that's, like, a specific, like, thing that probably nobody paid attention to that everybody now is going to look back on. It's like, oh, okay. But anyways, so they bring back the Goku and everybody else turns into kids, and Trunks and Gotenks are, well, they are, babies. But it seems like Trunks and Gotenks are smart enough, like it seems like that the characters, even though they've turned back into kids or babies, that they are mature enough from what their original ages were to know what they are. They're like, Trunks and Gotenks, they literally said that they're babies. They knew they were babies. They were confused by it, but they knew what they were. Knew they were. Same with Bulma, Chi-Chi, Hercule, who does appear in here. Which again, I'm really kind of confused here because why was Hercule in here, but we don't see Videl or Gohan in here? And I know there's been those rumors that Gohan and Videl aren't going to be in this, which again doesn't make sense to me. Like, why wouldn't they be at the birthday party? And I thought it would have been really cool to see Videl, because we never seen Videl as a kid, because obviously Gohan never met her until like they were in high school and shit like that. I thought that would have been really cool if they would have shown both of them as kids again. It would have been really cool, especially getting to see Stephanie voice Gohan as well again, because I would have liked to seen Stephanie voice Gohan in this again. That would be really kind of cool. But anyways, so they have a big problem here, and that is that, they really are struggling at flying. They're trying to figure stuff out. The Supreme Kai is trying to figure out something. Also, it's worth mentioning, before this all happened, there was an extremely interesting plot hole with the Supreme Kai. As we all know, in the Buu Saga, Supreme Kai did fuse. Right, he did fuse with the Patara earrings, and then they explain that the reason why the reason why they defused was because of Majin Buu. Majin Buu gobbled them up, or I guess absorbed them. And because of the acid, that was why they were able to defuse, and then they basically spit them out after that. And it's because of what happened with Goku and Vegeta in the Buu Saga when they used the Patara earrings, which I thought was kind of interesting, because if we never had Dragon Ball Super, or if this was never explained in Dragon Ball Super, this would have been honestly a very good explanation, because it was specifically stated in the original Dragon Ball Z, which I made a video years ago before even Dragon Ball Super came out, of the mysteries of the Patara earrings because of Vegito defusing in Buu's body. And so this explanation does make sense. It absolutely does. Like I said, if Dragon Ball Super hadn't happened, or it hadn't happened the way it did, this would have been a very good explanation. However, because of Dragon Ball Super, it doesn't make any sense now. Because in Dragon Ball Super, they explained that when they defused in there, that it was because they were able to defuse because it only takes like a half hour or whatever, because I mean that was what they were, or not half hour. I'm sorry, that's the fucking fusion dance. I mean for the Patara earrings, it's only an hour. It's only an hour or whatever, for us to be fused together. That's the only reason. To why they were able to, defuse, that they found out that, oh no, all this time it was actually an hour. But now we actually get this explanation. So unless they fuse again later on, then this all doesn't even make sense. I personally like this explanation. Like I said, I like this explanation about the Patara earrings, but much better than what they did in Dragon Ball Super, by the way. But because they did what they did in Dragon Ball Super, this shit just doesn't even make sense anymore. You know, but yeah. So, Goku then tries to like figure out what to do because they go again to the lookout, and that's where they find all this stuff out. So then they got to use transmissions to get everything organized, so they can get. Oh, I'm sorry, Kabuto. Basically, they had to use the transmission to get back and forth. They, are using this old ship that they had, Spring Guy had, but they got to fix it. Bulma's got to fix it. And they said it's going to take about 10 days to fix this, and whatnot. So in the meantime, while this is all going on, Goku decides to find where his power pole is. And he goes to where the senso beams are and where Korn is, makes senso beams. He said that he left it on top of the, ceiling of it, but it's gone. And so then he's asking Korn, where is it? And he's trying to remember where it is, and then he finally remembers, he left it in Master Roshi's place. He goes to Master Roshi, who's like young as well now. And he can't remember where he put it. But the turtle actually finds where it is, that they were using it as, like Master Roshi was using it as laundry, basically. So, Goku has his power pole, which is pretty cool to see Goku using his power pole again. But, I mean, Goku still has his abilities, like his energy blasts, and he still has all his powers at his disposal. He just needs to get used to his body. So eventually the power pole is probably going to be, like, useless again. But I guess because he doesn't have grasp of how to control his powers right now, him using the power pole right now makes sense. The power pole still literally can expand out, by the way. He shows it off to everyone. Krillin, Bulma, everybody of his power pole. Shows how it extends still. It's pretty cool. In the meantime, while that's all going down, we have this new character that comes in a ship called Glorio. And Glorio basically was spying in the last episode on the villains. And he basically wants to recruit Goku to basically to defeat the Gomah, King Gomah, or whatever his name is. It's Gomah. Gomahs. Gomahs, they want to defeat him. So he asks him to come into his ship, which he said was a plane, by the way. Supreme Kai's like, I want to come with you. Like, okay. Bulma wants to look at it because it could help her accelerate the, of them fixing Supreme Kai's ship. He's like, fine, you can. After she was done looking at it, they were like, let's go. And Vegeta's like, I want to go too. And he's like, well, you can't because it only fits 3 people. And Vegeta's like, well, we're kids, so you could fit one more person. And there's like, no, that's not how it works. So Vegeta has to wait for the ship to get in there. So they leave, and Goku and them, they travel to this place where they come across once again the goldfish thing, which Goku even like basically makes a joke about it, that it's kind of like a goldfish. And they're basically trying to tell Goku to stop doing that. Goku then makes a different, he says, you're a different goldfish, and he's like, that's still the same thing. What's your purpose here? They basically want to get in there, and they actually have to use like magic to make Goku's ears look pointy like Supreme Kai's and Glorio's, because their plan, Glorio's plan is he has to defeat them because they're a threat to the demon world. They do coordinates or whatever, and they give coordinates to the gang. But or could be in Kibito. That's basically where the second episode ends. So now, in the final third episode, what they do is they arrive, basically. They arrive in, and before they enter, by the way, Supreme Kai does want to give the passcode or whatever, because they have a passcode that Glorio has, but he could not give it to him in time before they went into the realm. They get in the realm, and obviously gravity is pretty slow there because of the gas that's in the atmosphere. They actually take out a few bandits that were trying to attack them when they were trying to basically get used to the area. They're also in the third part of the demon realm. Apparently, there are 3 different worlds in the demon realm. There's there's the first, second, and third. They're in the third because that's the only world realm that Glorio has access to. So there's that. In the meantime, they basically try to figure out what they're going to do. They have to sleep somewhere, so they go into a hotel. Glorio actually had to fight with the person, the host or whatever, because he was trying to cheap him into more money. So Supreme Kai and Goku end up sleeping together in the same room. And Glorio has his own room. Goku, and then across the street, they end up going to a bar. And Goku ends up having 5 hamburgers at this bar because that's all they had. Hamburgers were with black bread. And it seemed like the bun was yellow, or it seemed like the burger was yellow. Or maybe that was the cheese, I guess, but they didn't say it was a hamburger. They didn't say it was a cheeseburger. So, yeah, he had 5 burgers. Wonder how much the bill rang up for that one. But they end up getting into a fight with people that didn't like them. And so they beat the crap out of them pretty easily. While he was fighting them, he ended up having all his hamburgers and then had another one after he was done with all 5 of his hamburgers. And also they had like some drinks there too, which, Glorio did, but I was thinking like, well, you know, they do realize that these guys are kids now, right? So there's like no age limit standard for this. Goku doesn't have his driver's license, so not that that matters in the demon realm, but not exactly sure how they were going to go without that one. But anyways, the next day after they get a good night's sleep, basically the band or the guys that they beat the crap out of at the bar basically just decided, well, we're going to take your ship or your plane, I guess. It's Glorio called it. So they don't have a plane. And that's how the episode ends, ladies and gentlemen. There was the credits with some of the highlights, visual stuff. pretty much a pretty good episode. Oh, they also did show a statue of Deborah. I should forget to mention that. So there was an episode of Deborah. So Deborah is pretty much worshipped in this realm, which is cool to see because I was kind of wondering if they were just going to ignore the existence of Deborah, who's supposed to be the person of the demon realm. It kind of does surprise me that nobody would have known that Deborah was gone by this point. Like, I mean, I know this happened a couple weeks after the Boo saga had ended, but I mean, the Boo saga wasn't just like a few days. Like, the Boo saga was probably like over a lot longer than that before they defeated Boo. So you would think they would have known that Deborah had been eaten by Boo at this point. They also did say that, like, you know, that they thought Deborah was foolish to join forces with Babidi, being the king and all that. I'm sure there'll be more explanation that comes out later. But I do kind of hope that something happens where Deborah comes back, because I just feel like there's kind of a lost puzzle in this. And maybe that comes from the sister, because there was something unusual about the sister of Supreme Kai, that like she was kind of like spying on them, but at the villains, but on the same time she was like, you know, traveling to Earth. Like they even showed that they had mentioned that she had traveled before they did to Earth. So maybe she's got something up her sleeve. Maybe she's loyal to Deborah. And maybe something happens where she revives Deborah. I'm really curious about that whole aspect. Something to look out for. Dr. Aju. So, yeah. Interesting episodes. Very okay for what it was. I hope we see more of some fighting action going on. It seemed like, you know, we started to see that a little bit, but so far we haven't seen that much. It's kind of what I want to see. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the latest content. Oh, and I should also mention, Stephanie Nadolia killed it as Kid Goku, by the way. She was phenomenal. I'm so glad that Stephanie Nadolia is back. Just had to mention that before we leave here, because it was amazing. Also, not really sure who all the other voice actors are, since they are kid voice actors. I mean, it's the kid voices now. So I have to really kind of look up who it was. I know they had it in the credits, but I couldn't. Credits kind of go fast, so I'm gonna probably just look it up online to see who are all the cast. But big ups to Stephanie Nadolia, and big ups to Crunchyroll for bringing Stephanie Nadolia back. And hopefully she gets to be Kid Gohan. If Kid Gohan does appear in Daima, I'm not sure if that's been confirmed, if he's in here or not. There's been rumors that he's not going to be in it, but if he does make an appearance, I hope she is voicing it. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, flex videos. Please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the latest content. And that's it. I am the Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow the Twitch, Instagram, all in the same name. Also, I do have a Discord link in the description for all discussions and whatnot. And also, I do have a YouTube tier list, so make sure to check that out as well for all the perks. And now I'm out. Peace.